Joining us now, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin and Michigan Republican gubernatorial candidate Tudor Dixon. They are the keynote speakers at the Michigan GOP convention in Lansing tonight. It's really getting underway right away. Governor Youngkin, to you first. The president thinks this student debt relief plan is not going to cause inflation. He says it's good for America. Your take?
Well, I think it's completely misguided to think that you can, in fact, spend hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and not have someone pay for it. Well, all Americans are going to have to pay for it. And there are such better ways to get at the runaway cost of education. And in fact, we're doing it in Virginia. We're asking our universities to keep tuition flat. We passed larger baskets of scholarship support. And finally, we're having an economy that is in fact thriving and growing and going to offer an opportunity for students to graduate, get a great job, and have a great life in Virginia. So I'm recruiting. Come to Virginia. It's going to be the best place to live, work, and raise a family. Although I'll tell you, Michigan is pretty awesome, and I'm here with Tudor, and she is going to be the next governor of Michigan.
Yeah, as you're trying to recruit people to come to Virginia, I imagine Tudor Dixon has something to say about that. Your thoughts, Tudor, if you would please, on the cancellation plans of student debt that the White House announced.
Yeah, for a second there, I was going to have to say, shh, come to Michigan. We want to have people in Michigan, too. But I agree with the governor. It's definitely a matter of looking at the costs of our universities now. We can't just forgive debt and continue in this same cycle of having students constantly graduate with massive amounts of debt. We have to look at what the root cause of the problem is and come up with a corrective action and move forward. This will just cost all Americans more money, and we can't afford to do that right now.
Yeah, and the White House doesn't know, A, how much it's going to cost, and doesn't know, B, how it's going to be paid for. That doesn't sound like smart budgeting.
John, does that surprise you at all? I mean, this is a president who actually gave away energy independence. This is a president who has overseen trillions of spending that's caused runaway inflation, and the silent thief of inflation is stealing tens of thousands of dollars from hardworking Americans every day. And this is the challenge we've got. We've got an administration that's out of touch, and yet we have hardworking Republican governors trying to bring taxes down, reduce the cost of living, stand up for law enforcement, and oh, by the way, empower parents and put them back in charge of their kids. And that's what you're going to get from Tudor Dixon in Michigan when we elect her together. Together, Michiganders come together and elect Tudor Dixon, the 50th governor of the state of Michigan.
I want to play for you some recent sound from the president regarding Republicans and just get your reaction on the other side of this. Listen to the president.
I respect conservative Republicans. I don't respect these MAGA Republicans. The MAGA Republicans don't just threaten our personal rights and economic security. They're a threat to our very democracy. They refuse to accept the will of the people. MAGA Republicans don't have a clue about the power of women.
Let me tell you about this ultra-MAGA agenda. It's extreme, as most MAGA things are. This is not your father's Republican Party.
It's hard to know what he defines as a MAGA Republican, but, 75 million people voted for Donald Trump. Tudor, your thoughts on the president's comparing MAGA Republicans to semi-fascists?
We see this as we get closer to the midterms, and they have nothing to run on. Their agenda is horrendous. Look at this state. In Michigan, Governor Whitmer has done nothing but torture the people of this state. They have nothing to run on, and so they've run on fear in the past. Fear has been effective for them, but people are done with fear. They want hope, and that's why our message is resonating. That's why Governor Youngkin's message resonated. He said, I'm listening to you. I want parents involved, and I'm going to bring you back into the schools. That's what people want to hear right now. These messages of doom and gloom and fear, they're just not resonating.
We the parents, Tudor.
All right, Governor Youngkin, your thoughts on what the president had to say. It just seems as though there is an awful lot of name-calling in politics these days.
All I can think about is Hillary Clinton calling people deplorables. I mean, this is what they resort to. And as Tudor said, when you sit down with Michiganders and Virginians and Americans and you listen to the issues that they're dealing with every day, they're talking about every night around their kitchen tables, it's runaway inflation. It's being shut out of their child's life and their school. It's crime that has hit highs all across the nation. And so the Republicans, we have answers. We have answers to bring taxes down, to empower parents, to back the blue. And we know that these common sense answers to kitchen table problems are the way forward. That's why there will be a red wave that sweeps across the nation, the headwaters of which were in Virginia, but that red wave's getting ready to sweep across Michigan.
Let's take a look at some polling. According to the Real Clear Politics average, Governor Whitmer still leads in this race, 50%. It shows you, Tudor Dixon, about 6 points behind at 43.3. Now, these numbers were taken, the polling was done August 8th to the 25th. Can you turn that around, Tudor?
Absolutely, that's great. We continue to narrow that lead for Governor Whitmer as she continues to attack. We're narrowing. We have this beautiful crowd around us. Everybody here wants this state to come back. We have a huge silent majority that says exactly what Governor Youngkin's talking about. We want to make sure we bring the economy back. We want to make sure our job creators feel like they are loved in this state. We want to make sure this is a family-friendly state, that parents are welcomed into their schools. And right now we have some of the most dangerous cities in America, but we are going to make sure Michigan restores their cities to safety and community, and this is going to be the place that everybody wants to live, play, and work in the state of Michigan.
And John, let me add, last year at this time, that exact same poll had me down nearly 7 points. And well, on January 15th, I was inaugurated as the 74th governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and we're going to see Tudor Dixon inaugurated as the 50th governor of the state of Michigan.
It is true that your victory over Terry McAuliffe was something of an earthquake, maybe a lightning bolt, and the Democratic Party was not too happy with your victory. Here's what they're saying about your visit there. According to the Democratic spokesperson Elena Kuhn, she writes, Glenn Youngkin traveling to Michigan to campaign alongside another abortion extremist and election conspiracy theorist in Tudor Dixon tells you everything you need to know about this toxic brand of politics and today's Republican Party. Both Youngkin and Dixon support rolling back women's reproductive freedom, are bankrolled by the DeVos family, and are pushing a dangerous anti-public education agenda that is extreme and out of touch with hardworking families. Governor Youngkin, take that on first. How do you respond?
That's the same thing they said last year about me when I was running, and they forgot to do one thing: ask Virginia voters. And Virginia voters came together, not just Republicans, but independents and Democrats. And we took a state that Joe Biden had won by 10 points, and we turned it red. I think that what we hear from Democrats is the consistent theme of we have no new ideas, and as a result, they revert back to these tired old accusations. Republicans are about solving problems with common sense solutions, and we can bring that exact same common sense mentality to the governor's office in Michigan.
Tudor Dixon, the event getting underway tonight is really all about you. I'll give you the last word on what the Democrats are saying and your campaign pitch.
Well, we disagree with the Democrats on public education. We think that public education is key, and we should make sure that kids are coming out of there learning to read. We are going to make sure that we are supporting public education in a way that there is no wrong path for students. But we're going to have education freedom in the state of Michigan. We are going to make sure that parents have rights in education. And everything I hear across the state is that parents want to be supported and know that their voice is heard. So when they say that that's extreme, I say it's extreme to say kids are forced into a school where they don't get an education and they don't learn to read, because illiteracy, it ruins lives.
Michigan Republican gubernatorial nominee Tudor Dixon, along with Glenn Youngkin, the governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thanks very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you. God bless.